Alright guys, let's get started. So first things, I have already turned on the authorities of our semester final cloud drive. So probably if you are already finished some part of your project semester final project, then you can upload them gradually. Okay, so maybe today, next week, next week, if you have finished some part, then you can gradually upload them. So here is the requirement of our semester final project. So let me make the introduction for you. The first thing, it must be an individual work. So for sure, there's no group submission. You cannot collaborate with your classmate. Second thing, probably the most important one, the deadline will be on January 9th, 2026 on Friday, 12 p.m., which means by the end of this class. So let's take a look. The deadline will be, wait for a second. Where is that? Okay, right here. January 9th on 2026, 12 p.m. So which means by the end of this class, in this semester, you have to upload your file. So make sure you can submit it on time. I think it's quite enough since right now you can already start to gradually finish your project. There's no problem for you. You have enough time to finish your semester final project. So next thing is the submission requirement. For this time, it's not like an examination, so it's relatively easy. You can just follow my case file, and just uh, do the same things. Repeat the operation one more time, then you can finish your semester final project. So first thing for sure, you have to finish the model first. So the model, I will give you some assets, so you don't have to download by yourself. But if you want to customize them, for sure, you can use some online resources. But there is some certain things you must model by yourself, and I will tell you what's the things that you have to do that by yourself. Second thing is Grace Hopper. Sorry, that's the misspelling. Grace Hopper broken file. So which means this one, that's the things we just finished in the last week. Okay, so that's the things. No matter you're a Mac user or a PC user, just make sure that you can follow this order to finish this one. And if you want to refine that, probably you want to make some part probably more controllable or probably more efficiency. For sure, I would encourage you to do that. Just make sure that your work can make me to see the difference and also can make me to see the significance that is done by yourself. So probably no matter it's about the notation made by yourself, or probably it's about a different category, different structure made by yourself, then that will be the things I can know it's done by yourself. It's not just copy and paste. All right, second things, sorry. And so save and upload both files separately. So please remember Grace Hopper file and your 3D model file, they are different. So make sure you upload them separately. And then three screenshots. So probably take some nice screenshot of your semester final project. Just make them look like a poster or has a nice proportion, nice perspective. So that's the second requirement. Finally, a short video. So it can be, I think it's supposed to be under 1 minute. So it doesn't have to be too long. So don't give me a 10 minutes recording or 3 minutes recording. Just 1 minute will be quite enough. And just choose, you can choose any kind of music. Probably you can use in your favorite pop song, or you can choose in some classic music. Just play it and let me see how the screen interact with the music. So that will be the things I wanted to see. And using screen recorder, just like the things in like my Ocam or another screen recorder to do the recording for your video. Okay, so nothing special. And finally, give me the video, upload them to the cloud drive. And for sure, if you want, you can do some editing, like make this one looks like a MV style video, or maybe make that one looks like a demonstration video. Up to you. But anyway, I just need a video to show that your script can work. So that's the things. So The submission method very simple. Just upload that to the cloud drive. I have already opened up this one, so you can just right now upload your file gradually. So if you have already finished something, then you are allowed to submit. You are allowed to upload. So that's the things. All right, some reminder for you. I think for this time, it's more like an assignment. So there's no specific or strict way for me to check whether your work is done by yourself. But since right now you are taking this class, since right now you are a student in National Taipei University of Technologies, so I hope that you can be honest to your work and so that your first semester grade will be true to you. So please remember these principles. I think I don't have to give you guys too many specific rules to restrict your behavior. After all of you are grown ups. So please discipline yourself and ask yourself, finish the work by yourself. So that's the only thing. Nothing special. I think this project is pretty simple. So just control, manage your own time and try to finish that in time. So that's the whole thing. All right, so wait for a second. Let me give the local student a very quick Chinese hint. All right, guys, so that's the whole thing about our semester final. So just make sure you are inside this group and also you are following the rule, the requirement of the semester final project. Okay, so now let's go back to here. In the last week, we have already finished the script of the repo and also the RAM. Right now, it's just these two things are separated. So this one is for the RAM and this one is for the repo, right? So right now, since this one is a grasshopper file, so we can apply this script on any different type of 3D model. So if you want, you can apply this one on your tank model, or you can apply this one on the rocky model, up to you. So that's the feature of Rhino Grasshopper. They are separated. So if you want, you can apply the script to anywhere. You can apply this one to another different model. So for the next things we're going to do is to finish the final fish tank model. So there are two things we have to do. Please open up the file that I just asked you to download. There is a file which named ntutws repo. Please open up this one. So for this model here, there are some assets, there are some resources that we can use. First thing is the the water grace. That's the model that we can just directly use. Second thing is the 3D model of the rock. But for sure, if you want to model the rock by yourself, you can do that. And third thing is we have to model the golden fish by ourselves. So which means this one. Wait for a second. Let me show you that. So this is a 3D model that we have to model by ourselves. Also, this one will be the final practice for this semester. We are going to use the subdivision modeling inside Rhinosys. So it will be totally different from NURBS modeling. For subdivision model, it will more like a clay model. You can just using the vertex, the point, and by manipulate them, and you can control the shape and geometry of these kinds of organic forms. So that will be the final practice. And if you do like modeling, you really enjoy this kind of sculpting process, and subdivision will be a very important tools for you guys. And for not only in Rhinosys, but also in Blender, in Maya, and in 3ds Max. All of these 3D software has a subdivision technology inside. So once you can understand the logic of subdivisions, then you can apply this concept, you can apply this understanding to any different type of 3D software. Although right now we already have the, let's say, the AI generating 3D model, but tech manually models still matter because sometimes if you want to refine the typology, right now we still have to do that manually. So that's the thing. Just get an understanding. If you don't want to go for that, then you can just have at least you have to learn the concept first. But if you want to go for that, then probably you have to practice more. Okay, so that's the things we have to do. First thing, the model of the golden fish. That's the last things we have to do. Second thing, what's the things we have to model by ourselves? So we will start with the fish tank. For the fish tank, it's very simple. Actually, you can do that at the very beginning of this semester. Nothing special. But probably we need to use some special little technique to refine the detail of the fish tank and also make some detail for the ground, anyway, for the soil inside the fish tank. So that's the things we have to do. All right, so right now you can temporarily turn off your Rhino grasshopper. For now, we don't need to using them. You can just directly turn off that. And we are going to using the model right here. So you can just directly extract the model like the the water grace, and the golden fish. Just put this one here because we are going to use another model to do as a reference to do our practice. And how about the rock? Wait for a second. Let me hide the water first. For the rock, for sure, you can copy them. There's nothing special. It's just very low poly and simple geometry. And there are some high resolution and highly detailed rock model. So if you want, you can use them as well. Okay, right here. So that's the only things we need to use. For the rest part, you can just directly delete them. Okay, you can just directly delete them. Okay, so that's the things we are going to do. That's the things we are going to have for the final. So let's get started. Let's start with the simple fish tank first. So for sure, the fish tank I want to have is not like that kind of rectangle shape or a box-like container. I want to have a more pretty smooth or spherical-like fish tank. So that's the things I want to have. So how can we do that? How can we do that? Very simple. If you remember, at the very beginning, we have already using surface, sweep one rail, sweep two rail, and revolve, that kind of stuff. Basically, for the fish tank, we can just exactly use the same idea to do that. So for this time, I will using, basically you can use this one or this one. Both of them are fine. I will just using sweep one. So let's go to the side view. Okay, let's go to the side view, probably the front view or something. So let's draw the curve of the fish tank. Draw the section curve of the fish tank first. So let's choosing the control point curve. And you can draw that by yourself. Okay, let's assume this is my fish tank section curve. And upside, I want to using the polyline to draw that. So this is the curve shape. And for sure, if you want, you can adjust that. So probably right here, I want this one can be more flattened. So let's just using circular curve and using scaling to flatten them. So that's the thing, that's the section curve. Make sure right now you are on the side view. Otherwise, if you are working in the perspective view, probably it's not you cannot find the appropriate position to draw the curve. So make sure right now the curve you are working on is inside the side view, like front view or right view. Once you finish these two, then you can also draw a central line. Basically, this line is just the references. Okay, this is just a reference. So nothing special. Just make sure this one is located in the center, and it will be fine. And once we finish these two, we will use in this center curve as a reference to do the following operations. So I will stop right here. Then you can have some time to refine the shape of your fish tank. All right, guys, let's keep moving forward. So for this one, once you have the section curve of the fish tank and also the reference curve in the middle, then for the next things, it will be very simple. First things we can using the traditional way, using sweep one rail to finish the rest operation. So in order to finish the sweep one rail, we have to draw a curve at the center. So probably right here, we have to using circle, the center and radius one, and just choosing one circle or something like that. And for sorry, probably we have to using a better way to do that. Let's go to the top view and choosing center radius. Okay, so draw a circle by the at the center part. So once we finish this operation, then you can go to a surface, sweep one rail, choosing the rail first and choosing the rail first. It means the rail is right here. Then choosing the cross section curve and choosing enter. Then you will get the curve like this. So basically it's very simple. Just imagine that Rhino 6 will help you to rotate this curve into 360 degree and generate the surface for you. So that's it. Nothing special. Very simple. So no matter what kind of circle you want to have, maybe it can be smaller, maybe it can be bigger. Just anyway, make sure the circle is located by it at the center of the curve so that the section curve can follow the trail to move. So that will be the core idea. Another one is that you can just simply using revolve. For using revolve, you have to choose in the center line first. So this is the rotations, the rotating center. So once you finish, press enter. Okay, just like the main notation right here, press enter. Then choosing the start, revolve axis, choosing the end, sorry, wait for a second, sorry, I make some mistake. So first thing, choosing the curve to revolve, so which means this section curve, press enter. Then choosing the rotation center, so it means this reference line. Choosing the first point, second point, then you can start to rotate, define, or probably let's start from here. Okay. Once you finish, press enter. So you will get a curve like this. Okay. So both of them are fine. Both of them is pretty much the same, but probably this one, you can see that the iso curve, the structure will be a little bit more complicated. And the second one, it will be more clear. So up to you. If you think the first one is more intuitive, then just choosing the first way to do that. If you think the second way is more easy to do, then just choosing the second way. Choosing revolve, choosing the section curve, press enter, choosing the rotation axis, the start point and end point. Then just choosing a position and start to rotate. Once you finish, press enter. So that's the second way. Both of them are fine, just like the thing I mentioned before, just choosing the way you like. Okay? Alright, I will stop right here, probably. So if you have already finished your fish tank model, but there's something wrong with that, probably you find out the top part of the fish tank is a little bit too small. I mean, this area, this circle, this hole is a little bit too small. So very hard for you to put the rain, the falling rain inside, and also a little bit hard for the people to see the ripple on the water surface. So we want to change that. One way is that for sure you can just redo that just by change the shape of the section curve. You can just probably move that a little bit, change that, and redo the operation one more time. Get the fish tank model again. So that's the way you can do for the first one. Another one is that we can just based on the model we have and using the transformer to do the change. So one way is that probably you already know we can use in this one, the control point. Once you press F10 and F11, you can turn on and turn off. So basically, select the model first, and you can go to here, click, and then you can have this control point. Once you have the control point, you can select them. Probably I want to enlarge this part. So can just simply enlarge them, make this one looks like probably more like a flower vase or something. So that's the first one. That's the first way you can do. Another way is that we can use in transformer. This one, basically, you can just think this one like, I would say, a filter. So you can apply this filter on your model and change the result and change how it looks like. So let's take a look. The things we're going to do is the catch editing in the button side. Okay, you can take a look, transform, and on the bottom side of this panel, you can find catch editing. Choosing this one. Choosing this one. So the first things we have to do, probably we have to make sure uh, the cage can completely cover this model. Let me give you the idea of the catch editing. Okay, let me draw a diagram for you. So right now, probably you have a model like this. This is your vase, and you want to change the shape of this vase. So, but you don't want to redo all operation. Go back to change the shape, the profile of the curve, and then do some small minor change and redo the whole operation. So another way is that you can use in transform. So the transform basically is just like a filter. For this time, the things we are going to do is using a cage. We are going to create a cage outside of this model, and then this cage we can increase the resolution and increase the control point on this cage. So once we have that, we can just by moving the cage points and also change the shape of the model. So that's the idea of the transform. Basically, it's just like a filter. You don't have to change the model itself, but you can through controlling the shape of the transformer, then you can also affect the final result of the case of your model. So that's the things. 同学哦，在 Rhino 里面的 transform，它其实有点像是一个滤镜啊。就是像以这次我们要用的这个 cage edit 来讲，它其实就是在我们的模型外面去多加一层的控制框架。那你就可以直接在这层控制框架里面，透过去控制这里面的控制框架一些点位，那去改变你的模型形状，你就不需要直接去针对模型做修正了。所以大概是这样的一个概念。Alright, so in order to do that, first things we have to make sure the cage can completely cover the whole model. So how to do that? We can use the command that we have tried before, bounding box. Okay, bounding box. So let's choosing this model and choosing bounding box. So this one will help you to completely cover the model. So you can see that this box is outside of the case, outside of the vase, outside of the fish tank, and completely cover the model we have. So next things, let's go to transform, cage edit, choosing create cage. Create cage. Let me write down here. This one. Create cage. So let's go to here again. Let's go to transform, catch editing, create cage. So first things it will ask you first corner of the base. So basically just follow the box we have and draw a cage outside of your model. Once you finish this one, it will ask you how many control points you want to have. The default setting is 4x4x4, which means we will have probably around 64 points on this model, and the degree is 3x3. But I think it is fine, but if you want more, then you can increase the number of the points. So I will just press enter, finish the setting. So once we finish this operation, if you delete the box we have, you will find out there is a void wireframe, there is a void box over right here. So this is the cage we just create. Once we have this one, then we are okay to do the following operation. Go to catch editing again, choosing catch edit. Choosing the model that you want to control, press enter. Then choosing the control object, which means the cage. And for the region to edit, usually we will choosing global. For the global, it will follow the world coordinates to do the operation. So just press enter. If you want to change it to local, you can choose in the second one. But this time we will choosing global. All right, so right now you can see that the control point has show up. So you can start to work. For example, you want to control the upper part, just choosing this part, enlarge them. And as far as you can see, once you do the change, once you do the operation, the ISO curve will be retypology. It will be reset and change to the appropriate density. So for sure, you can do the button size as well. Okay, something like that. So this is the function of the cage edit. Basically, just imagine that as think that as a filter. So you can, by using this filter, then you can change your model without directly editing your model set itself. All right. So once we finish, here you can press F11 to turn off the control point, and you can delete the cage so that the model will be the transformation will be applied on your model. So that's it. That's the final things. All right. So please try to do that. First thing, create cage. Second thing, cage edit. For the rest of the part, just follow the notation. Just follow the hint inside Rhinosis. Then you can finish this operation. Let's keep moving forward. So once you finish the shape of the model, the surface of the model, the next thing we are going to do, it will be about to increase the thickness of the model. Because if you only have one surface, when you are going to do the rendering or shading inside Rhinosis, it will look pretty fake. So in this time, we are going to add some thickness. For this time, it's very simple, just choosing offset surface, okay? If you remember, for the offset surface, it can help you to add the thickness on your surface model, so that you can make your model become a solid one, not a 2D plane model. So let's do this. Let's choose in the surface first. Go to command bar, type in offset surface. So that's the things we're going to do. And you can choose in the distance you want to have. I think 6 is quite enough, but if you want more, probably you can choose in 9 or something. Depends on the size of your model, so you can adjust the number by yourself. Let's press enter so that you can get the result. As far as you can see, this is the final result. Right now, we already have the fish tank. Okay, pretty simple. So next thing is, I want to finish the rest of the part as well. Please go to the layers and also turn your display into the render mode. Okay, render mode, right here. So right now, if you don't need the reference curve, like the section line, the rail line anymore, you can just directly delete them. So take a look about the layer manager. So right here, I already have some layers that I set before, but for this time, I want to use this chance to do the practice of the material. So let's create a new layer. Just click this icon, new layer, create a new layer. Let's call this one glass. Okay, let's call this one glass. And put your model, select your model first. Go to here, right click, choosing change mod object layer, right here. Object layer, change object layer. All right. So once you move your object to this target layer, you can see that right now you can using the layer to control the visibility of your model. So next things we're going to do is the setting of the material. Please click this little circle right here. It's the icon of the material setting. Not the rectangle one, not the box on the side, but this one, the little circle here. Click this one. So right now you can see that the material manager come out. So there is probably you guys already do that before, and also I have do some very short and very quick tutorial about the material setting inside Rhinosis before. So I think you already have the basic understanding about the material setting inside Rhinoceros. And for this time, probably we can go deeper. So first thing, inside Rhinoceros, the material can be set in two different ways. Let's take a look. First way is using layer, so which means that the model will follow the layer material and show exactly the same like the layer material. So that's the first way. And how to set that? You can go to here, the property. Oh, sorry, wait for a second. Here. We can go to the property here and go to the second bar. There is a icon, looks like oil or something. I don't know how to say that, but anyway, the second icons, you can just choose that. So you can see that right now this model is using layer material. But if you want, you can also change this one, change the model and ask it using customized material. So basically, right now, even you change the layer material, and it won't change the display of the model anymore because it has an independent material. So that's the two things. One is the layer material. Another one is the customized material. So this one, both of them are fine, but usually I prefer to using layer material because this one you can just put all the same thing inside the same layers, and by changing the layer setting, all the same material will be changed as well. So I prefer the first one. 同学，我这边很快的说一下，就是在 Rhino 里面的材质设定有两种方式。第一个就是图层，你可以直接在这边就是让所有的模型跟着图层的材质一起走。那第二个的话呢，就是各个客制化的材质哦，那它会在这边，就请你们点选模型以后到第一个内容或者说 property 的这个地方，然后选择第二个选项，这就是材质的部分。那一开始它预设应该都会是 use layer material。那如果你想要换的话，你就直接换到下面随便一个，然后它就会变成是客制化的材质，它就直接只跟着这个材质球，不会跟着图层了。那我比较喜欢第一个，因为这样的话你就一改图层，那全部就会一起做调整，那会比较好做整体的掌控了。Alright, let's keep moving forward, okay? So once you put your model into this layer and once you set the object follow the layer material, then we can start to take a look about the setting. Usually there are many different materials right here, including pen, including pictures. Sorry, I don't want to use this one. Including glasses, etc. But let's start with the customize. Okay, it contains the most of the different type of the material property inside this material book. So for the customize, it will be the it will have the full function inside. So let's call this one. We can rename this one. Let's call this one fish tank glass. Okay, fish tank glass. So this is the name of the material bowl. Second thing, for the basic setting, like the custom setting here, the color for sure you can change that by yourself. Just click this bar. Just click this bar and make sure you move the black and white to probably somewhere to close to the gray color or white color and change the color, and you can see the color change. Click OK and close finish. And reflectivity for this one, it will control the reflection spot on your model. So if you increase more, wait for a second, let's click OK. Close finish. And if you increase the number of the reflectivity, it will show more color of the environment because the reflection has been increased. And also right here, that's about the transparency. Okay, it's about transparency. If you turn this one to 0, then it will become a solid model. If you turn this one to 100, it will be almost like completely transparent. Right now you cannot see that, but because you have to go to the ray trace mode so that you can see the completely transparent model. Right? The rendering is just a preview for your shade. If you want to have a true preview, a realistic preview, then you have to go to ray trace. So that's the things. All right. So let's keep moving forward. For the close finish, it's about the polishing surface of your model. So if you increase the number right here, you will see that this part gets smaller. It means the surface getting more smoother than before. And for the reflection, it's about the reflectivity of the environment. So if you increase this number, your material looks more like metal. And for transparent, it is about just about the transparency. Control the transparency of your model. And usually you can, for the IOR setting, it's about the index of refraction. Take a look, index of refraction, IOR. If you want to have a completely physical setting, you can go to the internet, go to search IOR. Okay, IOR index of refraction list. So basically, I think this one is pretty clear right now. So if you want to have the different setting like an acrylic glass, probably the acrylic glass IOR of the acrylic glass is 1.49, and the air it will be 1, the alcohol it will be 1.36. That's about the IOR setting. And by the way, the IOR setting is a universal setting number. So you can use this number in Rhinosis, you can use this number in Blender or in 3ds Max and Maya. So all of the just by checking the IOR list, then you can apply this number on everywhere. All right? All right, let's keep moving forward. So next thing is about the color setting. Right here, if you want, you can use in texture to do the color setting. So for example, if you want to make a brick color or brick texture on your model, for sure it is possible for you to do the model by yourself and piling every brick into your model and make them super detailed. It will make your file become super huge. So usually we don't do that. We will use in the texture. Let's go to here. I will just randomly choosing some texture that I have. Probably I have some right here. Pose. Let me see. All right. Anyway, let me choose. I don't have much. Let me see. Is it about Blender? Okay, probably the choosing is one, the clay ceramic glosses. So if you want, you can use in the texture to do. You can use in the texture to do the coloring. So let's choose this one, and probably I have to turn this one to 0 so that you can see the texture. It's not very detailed. After all, probably the resolution of the one I use is not that high at all. But right here, by click this one, and you can use in the texture that you want to have. And also, here is the thing, you can somehow change the transparency of your texture. Probably you can turn this one to 50, and so your texture will be mixed with the color setting right here. So for sure, if you set this one to 100, it means that the texture you use will be solid. So you will completely using the texture color rather than the color setting. So that's the things you can play around. So probably we can try turn to 50. And I want to turn this one into very light green color. Okay, something like that. So that's the things. And also, if I click this one, by click the name over texture, right here, there's an important thing about the mapping. The UV mapping inside Rhino C is not that easy to use, I would say. Basically, you can just imagine UV map is the uh, coordinates of the texture. And by setting the UV map, and you can piling or repeating your UV texture. So if you turn this one into 10, just probably that's using some huge bigger number. Not that easy to see, right? All right. Anyway, let's change another one so that it will be more clear. Probably this one. Okay. So I was just using what's that? A built-in model. So you can see that if you're choosing this one to 100, it means that it will repeat 100 times for every line, every row, every column. So that's the things about the mapping. If you turn this one down, turn this one to 1, then you will just use it one time. So basically, this one, the repeat is about to controlling the size and the number of the texture map. So if you want to have a smaller and higher resolution of the map, you can turn this one bigger. And if you want turn this one smaller, if you want to just have a whole image on your model, then you can turn this one smaller, something like that. Okay. Let me turn that and let me go back. I want to using the one I used before, ceramic. Click OK. All right. So same things for the transparency and also environment. You can also using the texture to do that. And for here, that's an interesting things. I'm not so sure I have that one. So for the transparency, basically it's better for you to use in black and white texture. So black part, it will be transparent. White part, it will be solid. Let's take a look. I will use this one. Clear? Okay. So take a look. So some part become transparent. Some part become solid. That's because we apply a texture right here. And usually for the transparent part, you have to use in black and white, otherwise it won't work. Same for the bump. Basically for the bump and normal, you will use in a black and white or that kind of RGB map, help you to create the faking 3D patterns on your geometry. So for this part, it's better for you to use in black and white texture so that you can see the result. Probably we can use this one. This one is 3D texture. Okay, so take a look. Once you apply this kind of normal map on your model, it will look a little bit fake, but it will look a little bit like there are some 3D patterns on the geometry. So that's the things, okay? That's the things. And for the final one, the environment, probably for this time, we will ignore this one. This is about the reflection and the environment lighting. And for the advanced setting, basically right now, I don't think we need to use that. Self-illumination, that's about to make the object glow. The alpha transparency, basically that's about to using the alpha and set the transparent material for your model. So right now we don't need to use them. So the advanced setting, we can just simply ignore them. But the texture and also the basic custom setting, please remember that. So you can do the setting by yourself. I will remove this one and also this one. So for the texture and also the color setting, custom setting, you can do that by yourself and give the material, have a setting, have a nice color material setting for yourself. Just click OK. Do the recording. And also I have to make sure our streaming is working. Okay. So once we have the model right here, the next things we're going to do is about to create a water surface and also uh, water surface is the first thing and also for the soil ground on the bottom side. For these two, inside Rhinosys, it is impossible for you to create realistic water simulation. After all, Rhino is not a 3D animation or a game engine software, so it cannot simulate realistic water or liquid. So inside Rhinosys, we can just use a very simple way to do the water simulation. Let's try to do that. So first things, I will create a surface. Let's just simply create a surface that is big enough to cover the entire water tank. And second thing, let's rebuild this one. Let's using rebuild, go to, once you select the surface, go to edit, choosing rebuild. And we have to increase the number of the point. So probably let's set this one to 24 by 24. Increase the number of the control point. So now we have more control point. So for this operation, actually it's pretty simple. We can use in wireframe and go to the control point vertex Turn on the control point vertex and start to drag. So probably just manually drag them. Make them up, down. Make them have this kind of fluctuate on the surface. Okay, so something like that. So if you think that probably because right now we have too many control vertices inside. So during this operation, if you want to make the whole thing doesn't have this kind of pixel naked, or maybe it doesn't have this kind of rectangular like shape, then we can redo the rebuild one more time. Go to edit, rebuild, and decrease the number of the vertices, probably to 18, 18. And somehow it will help you to automatically make the water surface get smoother. So that's the thing. So once you have this one, once you have the water surface like this, then let's make this one go change the layer of this object. Probably go to the water surface, change object layer. Okay, so that's it. So now we have the water surface. So for sure, after this is just a very small fish tank. So it is impossible for you to have that kind of wave-like, ocean-like shape. So we have to make the fluctuate of the surface a little bit smaller. So that's the thing. We don't have to make them so high or too low. You can use in scale to scale down the height and also the lowest point of the water surface. All right. I will stop right here, give you some time to do the practice. Once you finish this operation, the next things you can do, let's copy one more. All right. Put your model here. And I want you guys to extrude that using the gumball and select the middle point, extrude it. Okay, extrude it. So make this one become a solid model. And finally, the things we have to do is to using Boolean. You can use in Boolean intersections. So choosing the set, the first one, enter. Second one, enter. Ah, it failed. Sorry for that. Sometimes it will fail because this one, I would say, probably it's a little bit too complicated. So probably you have to try a couple more times, or I will show you another way to solve this problem. Anyway, please help me to finish the water surface first and make them become a solid object. I will stop right here. Let's give you probably around 5 minutes to do these operations. So once you have, probably I have to redo that again because I have already cut off that. So once you have the water surface, the next thing you have to do for me is to make this water surface become a solid 3D model. So just click this one and choose the little blue dot in the middle of the arrow, extrude that. So this one will become a solid 3D model. You can move the cube to the center of the water tank, of the fish tank. And for the rest of the part, you can define by yourself, just choosing the section, the portion that you like the most, put that into the center. So we are going to use in the water tank to cut off from this water mass. Okay, so that's the idea because we want to get to the central part. So that's the things. So how can we do that? Very simple. For this part, please using this one, the Boolean difference. I will write the English, so for the Chinese, please take a look about the translation by through the screen, Boolean difference. Boolean difference. Okay, so it's right here, the Boolean. Click the little triangle, go to find the Boolean difference. So first thing you have to choose the surface or the polysurface to subtract from. which means this water mass. Press enter. Then choose the one you are using for cutting, which means the water tank. Press enter. And before you press the enter for the second step, please make sure don't delete the input, which means don't delete the water tank. Otherwise, once you click the enter, if here is yes, the water tank will be deleted. Alright, so right now the delete input is no, so we can just directly do that. Enter. So now you can see that the inner part of the water has been successfully separated from the water mass. For the rest of the part, you can just remove them to the side or just simply delete that. Now, if you go to the render view, you can see that it looks not perfect, but at least it looks like water. Okay. And oh, by the way, I have some material setting on the side, so you can just simply use that. Right here under the water layer, there is a 005 tank. That's for the glasses setting. And another one 004 water tube. That's for the water setting. So if you want, you can change the color by yourself. Probably just change that one to red, to yellow, or to another color. Up to you. So anyway, that's the things. So that's the things. That's how we cut off the water surface from the water mass. So the next things we can do, basically, it's pretty much the same. Let's go back to the render view. Right now, it only has one layer, so probably it's not that realistic at all. So we can just copy one more. Select this one, Ctrl C and Ctrl V, copy and paste. Alright, Ctrl C and Ctrl V, copy and paste. So right now we have two water surface right here. That's using explode right here on the side. Here you can see that there is an explosion icon. Just click explode. So now we have two surfaces. We can move this one down. Probably somehow make this one looks like okay. There are double surface, so there are some fluctuate on the side, and also you can rotate a little bit, make some of them overlapping. I think we don't need that. And also here, we don't need that. All right, so that's the thing. So through the second layer of the water seeds, it will make your water looks more realistic. So that's the idea. Let me hide the rest of our. Probably this one we don't need that, and also this one we don't need that. So that's the thing. That's the water surface itself. We have a water mass. That's the major part. Also, we have a second layer of the surface. So this is another one. Wait for a second. Okay. So this is the result. This is the water surface. So how about the land, the soil on the bottom? It's pretty much the same. We can use the same idea to do that. So for example, you can just choose in the surface. Let's enlarge this one and extrude. Put this one down. Okay. And change this one to the layer ground. And let's do that one more time. That's using difference, Boolean difference. Choosing the object first, choosing the cutting object second. Now we have the ground. All right, that's it. That's the whole things about how to make the water and the ground inside the fish tank. I will stop right here and give you some time, probably around 6 minutes to finish this operation until 11:20. Then we will keep moving forward. Alright guys, let's keep moving forward, okay? So if you successfully follow our progress and also using Boolean difference to do the cutting job, then you will get the same result just like mine. So now let's do some integrations between Rhino Grasshopper and also our new fish tank. So please open up the Rhino Grasshopper file that we have made in the last week. Okay. So the major things we have to deal with will be this one. For the cloud, because right now we don't have the cloud model unless you keep the cloud model inside this file, then we can just keep using them. Otherwise, right now it's supposed to be orange color because we don't have any cloud 3D model. For here, that's the things we are going to do. Uh, Before that, the things we do, we're using the polygon and also the populate 2D to generate random points. So the result will look like this. It's supposed to under the water here. It's supposed to be right here, right? So that's the position of our repo. So how can we put the repo to the water surface right here and also make sure it looks fine, perfect fit with our fish tank? For sure, first thing is you can just simply select the model and move this one down. It is okay. I think it's the easy solution. Huh? Is that my laptop? I don't know. All right. So probably that's one way. We can just simply move the water tank model to here and using the you and make the model can fit with our script. But usually the model is supposed to be the leading character, and the script is supposed to be the assistant, and to make this one more dynamic and energetic. So probably we should not move the model. Rather than that, sorry, wait for a second. Rather than move the model, we can just simply extract the curve right here and using that to replace the region right here. So that's the things I'm going to do. Okay. So how to do that? Let's take a look. Let's hide the fish tank first. And I want to choose in the border the curved line of these water masses. Let's go to curve, choosing curve from object and choosing duplicate edge. This is a little bit deep. The button we are going to use is hidden deeply inside the menu. So I would say right here, you can take a look. Under curve, curve from object, duplicate edge. Let's choosing this one, choosing the curve, enter. So now we will get the curve right here. But there's a problem. In order to using populate 2D, the point we're going to use supposed to be 2D curve. So you have to flatten this one. Let's click the little blue icons right here. This one. And type in 0. Make this one become a flattened curve. And if you think it is too complicated, you can rebuild that. But I think right now it is fine. So I will just make this one looks like that. So next thing is we can just simply put the curve inside. Right click, set one curve. And using this curve to replace the region right here. So now you can see that since we're using the curve directly duplicate from the model, then all the repo that we generated will be based on the water surface. Okay, just like this. Probably the size of the repo is a little bit too small. I want to enlarge them. Four will be enough. Okay, just like that. All right, so that's the result. That's how we can create repo on the water surface. Let's go to the render view, take a look about the result. So it's how you look like. Still, there are some points will go out because the points center, the circle center is so close to the border, so it go outside. But if you want to fix that, then probably we can just directly scale down the size of the circle. It will be an easier solution. All right. So anyway, that's about the repo. Probably we can also change a little bit about the transparency. Okay, so that's it. So how about the rain? For the rain, it's super simple. Let's just redo the operation. Probably let's draw one sphere. Shade it. Let's draw one sphere, two sphere, three sphere, and join all of them by Boolean union. And if you want more, then just increase more. Okay, so Boolean union, join them together. So once you have that, I also have a layer for putting the cloud. So you can just select the model, right click, change object layer, put the model to the cloud. Next thing is just go to Grasshopper, reselect the curve that we already have. So choosing this one, right click, set multiple curve. So choosing this, that, here. Okay, so now we have. So once you finish this operation, now you have successfully connect the model with your screen. So probably the length of the rain is also a little bit too short, so you can enlarge that. Let's try to enlarge the length of the rain. Okay, so now we have. Let's see the result. Okay, so now that's the things we have. So I think uh, for the rest of the time, I want you guys to connect the model with your random Grasshopper script. So make sure that your repo can be on the top of the water surface, and also make sure your cloud and the rain can work inside this model. So let's give you some time, probably around 8 minutes to finish this operation. Then we will do a roll call for today. Okay, this is the fourth or third roll call for this semester. But anyway, we still need some roll call for making the daily performance grade. So that will be the next thing. So please using the time to finish this part. Then we will keep moving forward. 同学哦 Alright guys, so basically I think for today we have already finished the basic model of the fish tank, including the water surface, the soil land, and also fish tank itself. For the rest part, you can use in some online resources to enrich the detail by yourself. So including the maybe the water grades, you can go to find some better model or maybe more detailed rock or maybe more cartoon low poly style rock that using for enrich the details. So that will be your design, and you can use that to get the extra bonus credit in the end of the semesters. So for sure, also you can use in some probably your creativity. For me, I put some water bubble inside to enrich the detail. So you can do that by yourself. Okay. So for the next class, we are going to do the subdivision modeling, which means finish this guy, the golden fish. So for sure, you can see that the golden fish is not like the regular surface model. It has more complicated geometry on the body. So we have to use in subdivision to finish that. That will be the progress for the next week. All right. So for the before we end the class, I want to do a roll call for today.